Hey, so today we're talking about plant rotation and rotating all those plants in our garden. This is significant because rotating those plants helps you reduce pests and disease while all the while increasing your plant productivity and the general health of your plant. There's huge benefits from it. So every plant pulls nutrients from the soil. The same, so if a plant is planted in the same area, it's pulling those same exact nutrients. Then your soil is getting nutrient deficient for that plant. Rotating the crops, rotating your plant to different unrelated crops like a tomato and a bean or squash, then it's different nutrients that those plants needs and different ways that those plants benefit the soil. So most pests and disease can damage only one plant family. Uh, so it can't hurt unrelated crops. Let's take the potato plant, for instance. So a potato plant can get, or your potatoes can get scabs on them, which is that scabs is kind of like a bacteria that sits in the soil. So when you place your potatoes in the same spot again, then all of the things that will produce scabs are right there. Will put little scabs on your potatoes. However, if you move them to new soil, that scab doesn't exist in that soil, so then you're not going to get scabs again on your potatoes. Another thing that happens with potatoes are the potato bugs. Now, and there's lots of things that like to eat the potato plants itself, not like the roots, but some like burrow into the actual potato itself to eat those and make little holes in there. Now, with those plants that burrow into the potato, or those larvae that burrow into the potato and eat, their parents lay the larvae in that soil and around those potato plants because they know that their babies are going to have a very big food source. And it usually takes a while for those larvae to hatch. Like some of them takes like 3 years. I think the June bug takes like 3 years to hatch. But anyways, so when you rotate your garden, you have potatoes here, the mother bug comes, lays her eggs there because she says, oh, this is a good place for my babies to eat potatoes. And then the next year, you move them down the row and those larvae hatch and they don't eat green beans. So then like their whole food source is gone and your whole chunk of potatoes is saved, right? And it's not by doing things like spraying the crops or insecticide or herbicide or all those different things that you can put on your food that's not healthy for you. All this simple. It's just moving one row to the next and just keeping that rotation going. So in Elliot Coleman's book, The Garden Marketer, he put together a list of plant categories and different plant families that Ethan and I use. And so the list is tomatoes, peas, cabbage, sweet corn, potatoes, squash, root crops, and beets. So there's 8 things there. So if you were growing only those 8 varieties, you would put them each in a row for your first year. And then the next year, say if tomatoes were at top, you take your top row and put it all the way down at the bottom and then move everything up one row. So that's how you keep rotating your garden in an easy way because you're already planting in the spring, right? So just plant it in a different area and it's going to benefit your soil and your plants and lower all those problems with pests and disease. It's perfect. I love it. So keep it simple. You don't need to dive super deep into this. Just put them into categories quick. If you don't have it perfect, that's okay. That's okay. We perfect things as we go, and also we don't need to have a perfect garden, right? So there's this list that I just talked about from Elliot Coleman on the page underneath the video, as well as another list from Mother Earth News. You can use either one or mesh them together to find whatever works for you. But the action item for this video is to create your rotation list. So figure out what you're going to have in each row and make sure that you have one plant family in one row and then switch to a different plant family in the next row. So the two lists that I provide for you are beneficial in the order that they are in. So try not to change up the order too much. For instance, like root crops, like beets and rutabagas and carrots and stuff like that, they go in and they penetrate the soil and aerate it. So that's like a benefit that those root crops produce. But then you usually don't want to follow root crops with root crops because the soil has already been aerated. So that's not a need for the soil right then. So the list that we have in the order that for the two lists that I gave you would be a great thing for you to keep. My advice for you is don't stress about it. Just try to do it just quick and easy. Tell yourself it's quick and easy and put them in the order that they need to go in, and then I'll see you at the next video. Bye.